Okay, so now that we've migrated all the high polys into Blender, we'll be focusing on creating the low poly for the sculpt in this chapter. 90% of the time, I'm going to be using the same method to do my retops, so it's pretty easy and I find it pretty zen. Just zone out some YouTuber or some tunes and start retopping. But every now and then, I'll run into a unique scenario that requires me to approach differently. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to share that as well. Also, in the beginning of this chapter, I want to show you guys a quick rundown of what will come for the future chapters. So yeah, let's check it out. So now that I have all the pieces ready in Blender, this chapter is going to be super tedious. I'm going to be just covering how to do low poly in Blender. So yeah, I mean, just pretty typical, right? So a lot of those tutorials exist in YouTube, but yeah, I just want to talk about this next step because this one's like probably the most tedious and most time consuming, because for each piece I'm going to make a low poly, right? Before I do that, covering that in this chapter, I thought I'd give you just a quick rundown on what I'm hoping to achieve with this. So let's do this real quick, okay? So let's just kind of focus on this hand. So what I want to do again in this chapter is make a low poly version of this. So basically, I'm going to do it really quick and dirty, but as a good practice, you know, I'm gonna go slow and take my time, just because again, like, that's something that I wanna enjoy. I like doing that, right? But for now, I'm gonna do it quick and dirty. Okay, so I have the duplicate here. I'm gonna add reach, okay, and just kind of bump this to like 0.5 or something, so it's like super blobby like that, right? So it's just so quick, super quick. Shape smooth. What the? Oh yeah, I need to collapse this. Shade smooth, and then I'm just gonna do my dirty unwrap. Oh, what the? Oops, I think okay, whatever. Okay, so dirty unwrap 3, unwrap faces, smart UV, sure, yeah, why not? Okay, so again, once I do that, my low poly, I'm gonna try to cover the better way, a cleaner way of doing my unwrap, but again, this is just a rundown. Okay, and then once I do that, this is the part where I'm really kind of curious, and this new add-on that I kind of downloaded, which I want to talk about. So it's called, well, before that, let me just make these folders: hand, low, and this will be high. Okay, alright, so high poly hand will be in the high poly, and the low poly hand will be in the low poly. Okay, so you can kind of see. So hand low, then oops, it has to be underscore, by the way. Hand low. Oh, what the? I can't smell. Hand low and hand high, right? So this is what I wanted to try to do. Instead of taking it to Substance Painter, I thought that I wanted to show this new plugin that pretty much came out recently. I don't know how this video is gonna age, just because I'm gonna be covering this. This plugin is really new, so it's still kind of buggy, and I'm kind of learning. But hey, it's a learning process for me too, right? So, anyways, I'm gonna just do a quick rundown. Just call this whatever. 2K, sure, okay. And then just pretty much bake in this scene. And high. Okay, and adjust the cage. So it's kind of like imitating Substance Painter, but in Blender, and that was very intriguing to me. And I wanted to do something in this, and these are all the maps, so I'm just going to preview how it's going to look like to just make sure things are looking good. So once I do the preview, it will show me how the AO works, the curvature works. Kind of slow, but yeah, you can kind of see it. Let me turn off the high. Okay, so this is how the AO looks. This is how the curvature looks. Yeah, it's a little chunky, because it's using a cycles rendering. but you know, I think it's still really cool. I'm gonna talk about this a lot more slower, and let me change this to G and curvature. But anyways, like once you have everything set up, you just bake the maps you want to, and the baking part takes a long time, so I'm just gonna skip it once it's done. All right, got it to bake. Looks like I got one error baking with the thickness, but again, I'm just kind of blasting through this. So then once I come here, I'm going to add a mask, and then again, I'm going to talk about this a little more thoroughly and make it into how was it? Oh, oops, I'm gonna revert to this max actually. And then basically color into these kind of scenes, right? And then just kind of choosing my ID to, yeah, basically like doing substance painter with this. So that is my tactic with this. Again, it might change, may not, but we'll see how we want to go. But that's the whole plan with this mech with this weird funky color. Was the whole purpose of creating this ID mask was for this purpose, right? Okay, so anyways, that is that. Again, this whole rundown of the plan in Blender with this you know, just this puke of a color, and yeah, let's just go to the more of the boring part, and yeah, come back to this later. Okay, hopefully, we'll see. All right, so let's get started with the retopping, and I think this body right here is a good start because it's basically the big chunk of this entire model. So let's focus on that, okay? And notice with this entire model though, it's not completely centered. As you can see, this right here is a center point where this model imported from ZBrush. So that happens when you import from ZBrush to Blender, just because, as you can see, this hand right here causes asymmetry, right? So Blender, or I guess ZBrush, what should we call it? Automatically finds the center point to be right here, just because this thing's, you know, asymmetrical. But yeah, that could be a problem. So I need to kind of fix that. So with the body, again, this is not center area, so I'm going to go to Object, Set Origin, and Origin to Geometry, and that should be the center. Okay, so now I'm gonna go Shift S cursor to selected. All right, and then let's just focus on the body. So Shift H to focus on the body, and then I'm going to bring in a mesh plane. Right. So what I like to do with this is, let's say I'd like to add a just random material just so that I could deal with different color. Oh, speaking of color, so I'm kind of working in the shaded viewport shading as a solid, and also within this, just kind of like, you know, just choose between which one feels the best. But I think matte cap looks the most neutral and just kind of easy on your eye, and you can kind of, again, choose between the object color to your liking to see which one feels good. But I think my material is good just because it kind of keeps things neutral, and if the material or that you added onto your mesh seems a little too crazy, you could always go to the viewport display and just kind of like desaturate it a bit, or kind of change the color to your liking. And this is because I just want to make sure I'm separated, that I'm not working on two gray colors. It's just easier to see which model I'm working on. Okay, so I'm gonna scale it down, and G to just kind of like, oops, G to move it to, oh, what the, just like froze. There you go. Just around here. I'm gonna start off working from this plane right here. Okay, so Shift this. Because I scaled it, I'm gonna press Shift A and apply the rotation and scale, so it just resets that whole thing. And then I'm going to add a modifier, displace modifier, and that's gonna shoot it up all the way up here. And for here, the strength, I'd like to change that to 0.001. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me reset this. Okay,
So I'm going to just show you guys why I want to add this displacement modifier. Okay, just that's because if I start doing the retop, press tab and kind of moving the vertices. And one other thing to notice is that the way I'm kind of snapping onto the surface is by moving it, press G and then holding Control. That will snap onto the face. And to make sure it snaps onto the face, snap target face. Okay, I think on default the increment is selected, so make sure to change that to face. And then by doing that, you could choose the vertices and just kind of snap onto the face. So pretty easy stuff. And as you can see, the model just kind of like jams into the mesh, right? So you could see that, and that could be kind of hard to work with. So I like to add a little bit of displacement modifier. So kind of going back to my displacement modifier, but then as default, the strength is 1, so it just kind of shoots out the model like that. Okay, so I'm going to change that to 0.001, and that's about the good number that I want to work with. It really depends on how big your model is though. And but the moment if I press tab, you see how the mesh kind of resets back to pre-displacement map mode, right? So in edit mode, just kind of make sure to turn these two switches on so that it's active even within the edit mode. And yeah, from here it's just kind of, just moving the vertices or edge to just kind of going at it. And you can just extrude the edge, and notice how within the edit mode I have the vertice and edge turned on. That's possible. I could even turn on the face too by holding shift. Okay, so now I could choose the face, vertice and the edge, but for this purpose, for the retop purpose, I only need the edge and the vertice. Okay, so by holding shift, that's doable. And then I'm going to press E to extrude it and just kind of create this little beveled area. E to extrude it. Okay, just something along that line. Okay, and then another thing, so make sure this guy is turned on, the auto merge vertices, and under option, depending on the threshold, this is where the strength of it, you could change the strength of it, right? So if I were to press 1 and move this vertice right here, it's gonna snap like pretty harshly to wherever the closest vertice is. Although I don't know why it's snapping there, but 1 is way too strong, so I'm gonna change that to 0.001 as well. From my understanding, kind of keeping it same as like the displacement strength is about the right number from how I feel about this. So now if I have the auto vertices turned on and move this vertice kind of close enough to this guy right here, it will snap onto this vertices, which is cool. And here's another cool add-on. This is a Blender native free add-on. So if I were to choose this vertice in this corner, and if I press F, then it will shoot a face like that. Okay, and same here, F, like that. So that's pretty neat, a neat add-on, and it's called F2 add-on right here. Okay, and by default, I think it's not included, so you gotta go to get extension and type in F2 and first install it. Okay, F2 and install this, and then it should add on to it should give you as an add-on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna extrude this edge, snap on automatically, kind of squeezing it to where I want to. E to extrude. Oh, and another thing, let's, instead of E to extrude, if I select the edge, hold Control and right click, that will also shoot the, or create a face for you. Okay, so again, Control, but then it doesn't really snap onto the face, so I will have to kind of adjust the vertices manually later, but you kind of get the point. And from here, I'm just gonna click on F to shoot the face. Maybe I might need to add another face right here too, just because it's a little, I guess it's passable. Okay, just like that. So yeah, honestly, it's just about, this is about it. And I'm just kind of going at it and just kind of filling in the surface. Yeah, I think the rest I'm gonna fast forward it so that I don't bore you guys to death, and talk about whatever else that is needed, or whatever else I use later on. Oh, and one big information that I almost forgot to mention, the reason why I wanted to bring this origin to the center of this model is so that I could use this guy. I could click on this and add a mirror modifier, and then select the mirror object, which is this guy, right? And then use this as a mirror point. So I just need to focus on this side while sculpting. Or not sculpting, while retopping. So super important. Almost kind of forgot about that, but just kind of keep that in mind. If you guys are kind of aware of hard ops, that's something that I like to use instead of mirror modifiers. So I'm just gonna click on this guy, Alt X to activate hard ops mirror, boom, and that will shoot an empty. So that's basically another way. Hard ops mirror is my method of doing the mirror, but if you guys don't have hard ops, that the first way is another way as well. Okay, so yeah, I think that's about it. And let me just give one other information. So let's say if I want to add a vertice, I could, don't forget to use tools like cut. So K to kind of add in a vertice like that. So that's another way to kind of use some of the native Blender tools to just kind of play around and add your vertices, okay, manually. So it should be good. Let me just fast forward and see where I go with this. And here we go with the final last touches right there and right here. There you go. So I think I pretty much have this piece, the body part, covered. Notice I have the neck part right here and the hip part right here open, because that's where the head and the hip connects. And I don't need to cover this part because pretty much the head's gonna cover it, right? And if I were to unhide it, look at that. I went ahead and retopped some of the other hard surface areas, with the purple area being the ones that I've already did, just because it's just repeating shapes over and over again. So or repeating techniques over and over. So not much to show, to be honest. So yeah, there you have it. With these fingers, pretty much gonna go the same way. I've tackled the hard surface, the body, the whole entire hard surface area. Hand, same with the hand too. Nothing very different. But each segment is gonna be its own low poly. Again, I'm gonna go set origin to geometry and cursor to selected, and might as well just copy this piece, like one of these piece right here. Shift D and just kind of bring it here, G, and then you see how the hard ops mirrors it on that side over there. So I don't need that, so I'm just gonna get rid of it, and then just kind of bring it up here. Oh shit, where are you? Okay, right there. Oh, oops, I needed to separate it. I forgot it. So once I have this selected, just this piece, okay, so P, separate selection, so this is separated pieces. piece now. Set origin to geometry, and then again get rid of the hard ops mirror, and then bring this guy up here. Just as a safe measure, apply transformation, rotation and scale. And yeah, again, just kind of going at it, hold shift and select the vertice and edge and go at it. Okay, and then because I have my cursor right on the middle of this tip of this finger, all I gotta do is Alt X, and then the cursor, since the pivot is on the cursor, this will be the center, right? And I'm just gonna mirror it to the other side, and yeah, just go at it like this, right? Hoping that this finger is pretty much on the center. So let me just keep going at it, and just gonna fast forward this one real quick. Okay. And there you have it. That's one finger down, so or tip of the finger. So let's just continue on with doing all these different fingers and also the hand. Right? Let's go. Just want to pause here a bit and show a little pointer here. So something like right here, right? You know that this thing is a cylinder or like a circular shape. So you know, this, and then on top right here, right? These things are cylindrical shape or circular shape. So in Blender, if you go to preference, and I believe you got to get it through extension first, but it's called loop tool right there. So I have it installed. So once you have it installed on add-on, just check it on. And what this does is if you have those edge selected, right click it and you'll get this menu called loop tool, and then basically it will make any shape, either circle shape, or I haven't really messed with any of these except circle and flatten, just because like this is pretty useful when it comes to like making shapes into a circular shape. So I'm gonna go to loop tool and circle. Oh, just kind of like popped out. It's a weird area, but you can kind of see it. Let me just scooch it in. Oh, actually, let me just Control Z. Let me do a circle, and then you get these little pop-up right here, right? So just kind of like see which one feels best. Flatten is basically flattening the circle, so you could see it. Without it, it's like all jaggedy, but flatten it just makes it pretty much flat, right? And then regular, you can kind of mess with regular. Sometimes it's better to turn on or off regular. For this instance, I think turning the regular off is better. So yeah, so that's good. And I'm just gonna scooch it in. So yeah, it's just a way to do a cleaner circle like this. Okay, and yeah, I think that's good. And I'm just going to extrude this. Oops. Extrude it, scale it down, and yeah. So I'm just gonna keep continuing on. So yeah, I have like a cleaner circle like this, right? So that's all I wanted to show. Oops. Cool. Keep going. Oh, and while I'm at it, so eventually when I do the baking part, I'm going to have to revisit these models too, but this time I'm going to focus on this hard surface model right here, right? So you could see that a lot of shapes look pretty fine, but then notice this shape right here. Because if I were to press tab, it's going to take a while because it's a pretty dense mesh, but you could see that this mesh right here is pretty low poly. So you can kind of see what I did right here. Basically what I did was I separated this piece because these are the ones that are coming out a little flat, and that is because
from ZBrush Cylinder. When I imported it, it doesn't really detect hard surface, or like I guess like flat surface. So it just gave everything a smooth shading group. So I just need to separate this, and with hard ops I'm going to sharpen it, and maybe I could bevel it too. Just kind of add like a little bit of bevel like that, and then I'm going to apply it, and yeah, Control J back onto it, so it gives that nice shape. And speaking of which, I should do the bevel onto these guys as well. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do, share. Okay, cool. Another neat little trick I want to share is dealing with something like this, right? So as you might remember, in ZBrush I decimated this guy, so you could kind of see that it's basically stuck onto each other, right? And also, as you can see, the mesh, it's not that perfect cylinder shape anymore. So what I could do is go back to ZBrush and find the original model of this guy, right, and replace it. So that's probably one way of doing it. But let's say if you don't have access to ZBrush, what you can do is, oh, and another thing, the axis, right, because this guy is diagonal, if I want to scale it in the Z axis or X or Y axis, I can't anymore, because it is a ZBrush file. So it was from ZBrush, so it doesn't follow the local transformation or the axis in this case with the cylinder. So I need to make the low poly to basically follow the axis that I want to. So what I could do is I could bring in the cylinder and scale it down and try to match this guy, right? Shift H, and try to like do this and try to get that right diagonal, and go from there. So now that this has the right axis, I could just kind of follow this, if I press double Z, then it should do it. But the problem with this is that you see how I'm kind of like trying to eyeball this cylinder to match this diagonal shape. So that could be a little messy, and not really ideal. So this is a little hack that I saw that might be pretty useful. So what I could do is, let's say for this model, ideally you want to find like a center point. And again, because I decimated this guy doesn't have any center point. Like I was hoping that there would be like a vertex like right here, right in the center, right? But this circle right here could potentially be the center point right here. So I'm just gonna deselect some of this. So that might be pretty right on with the center. Okay, so I'm going to, not I, or I guess I could do the I, and then M and center it to create that center vertex. So I think that's center, and what I'm going to do is cursor to select it right here, and then while I have this guy, or while I have this vertex selected, I'm going to click Shift number pad 7. Okay, so this will view this model right from the top like that, and from here I'm going to bring in a cylinder, and 32 is fine. And then instead of aligning it to the world, you click on align, or you select align it to the view, and that should bring the cylinder the same diagonal as this mesh right here. So okay, a little off, just what I thought. This mesh isn't exactly, or the vertex isn't exactly right in the center, so that's why it's not really exactly the center that I was hoping for. But I think that I could work better with this, a little better than how I was eyeballing before. I just need to scooch it just a tad, and I'm holding Shift so that it's just moving in a very microdose increment. Okay, so yeah, I think that should be good. Yeah, it's a lot more centered than what I could manually pull it off. So yeah, just something like that is good. And from here, I am going to just you know, now that I have the proper access for this, it will be a lot more easier, right? So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Oops. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Might be useful for some, might not, but I think it's pretty useful. Why am I? Oh, I have this selected, no wonder. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going on. One last thing I want to show is dealing with some organic elements like these. So these little pieces, because it's pretty organic, I think I could get away with some of the modifiers to do the low poly modeling for me. So first thing, what I could do is add mesh and do a remesh of this guy. Oop, you know what? Actually, Control Z. I need to duplicate it. Shift D, duplicate it, and then right click it so it snaps back on. And I'm gonna apply this purple mesh, the material 04, just so that we could all see easier. Okay, so it's right here. It's under there. Okay. So add modifier, and let's do a remesh of this guy first. So we got that remesh, and yeah, you know what? I think this might be good. So I'm going to do the remesh, and then on top of this, I'm going to add decimate. All right, and with the decimate, let's try 0.1. See how that feels. Okay, so just give it that a sec. Can't tell what's going to happen. Okay, so 90K, which seems a little high. Let's try 0.3. Let's see if that will do anything. 270. Oh, oops. It should go lower number, so 0.05. Okay, so give that a second. Okay, yeah, so 45K, it's high, but I feel like, again, with all the low polys, this might be pretty reasonable, and I think I could just stay with this. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe I could go even lower, 0.01. Yeah. Just give it a sec. Might be too low, but yeah, I mean, that's all the work that I need to do. Okay, so I could do that with the same. Let me do it again. So Shift D to duplicate it, Alt N, apply this purple material, remesh it. Oops, not decimate, but I guess I could have added decimate too. Remesh first, and then decimate it. Okay, to 0.0. Let's give it a little more definition because this is the head. So I'm going to go 0.05. Just give it a sec. And this one's taking a while. It's like heavier to mesh. That's definitely going to take a little longer. So yeah, so that's it. Oops. Oh, did I do the wrong one? I might have selected the wrong dude. Or whatever. Alt N. Apply the material. Wow. There it goes. Okay, so yeah, that's how it looks, the low poly of this. So this might be good enough for me to retop. Alright, cool. And there you have it. So I believe I covered most of the parts. There might be little pieces that might be hanging, but I'm sure we'll stumble upon those eventually when we're going at it. But yeah, so next up we are going to unwrap this guy. So yay, fun. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Bye.